What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the DC Collectibles CW The Flash Reverse Flash. Now this is the Reverse Flash from the Flash TV show, in case you can't tell. We do have Reverse Flash in the packaging, alongside some of his accessories. We do get alternate sets of hands and the tachyon generator. He does come in the standard DC Collectibles window display box, so it does say his name right here on the side. Says he's the third figure in the line. On the side we have the picture of the figure itself, not the actual actor. If you remember my Flash review, it had promotional image of the Flash from the TV show. I don't know why they started doing the figures. Maybe it saves money, licensing issues. But other figures of the CW Flash line include the Flash Season 1 costume, Captain Cold, Reverse Flash, and Heatwave. Not sure if I'm going to pick up Captain Cold and Heatwave, but maybe we'll see what happens down the line. But anyway, really excited I have this guy in hand now. What I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him opened up, and we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have the Reverse Flash posed and out of the packaging. Now before we get onto the figure, let's actually go on to some of his accessories. We'll start with his hands, because he does come with quite a few hands. The hands I have him displayed with right now are not the ones he came with. He actually did come with the clenched fist hands. And let's actually move him off so we can actually go on to the hands. I'm going to show off the left hand on most of these, mainly because it does have the ring on it, and I do want to show you guys that. But anyway, let the camera focus. And we do have his hand. Like I said, there's a right and left hand for all these. Well, except for one pair, and like I said, for one hand, and I'll get more onto that. Again, you do get a closed fist, a semi-open gripping hand. You get this straight hand to have him with running poses, or even the vibrating hand of doom that he does. And then we do get these relaxed hands that are currently on him, as you can see. And then for the right hand, they do give us this extra hand, like I don't know, he's like clenching someone's throat or something like that. And we don't get a left hand of this one. This is the only one that doesn't have a pair. It's just the right hand. Like I said, it looks cool, but we don't get a left hand, and I kind of wish that we got a hand for every design. Like, where's the left hand for this? It kind of looks like the hand from Addams Family. But anyway, you do get all the hands. Like I said, there's a right and a left with the exception of this hand. And I find it easier on mine to remove the left hand. It's just as simple as giving it a little bit of pressure and it should come off, and I'm having... There we go. I don't know why I was having so much trouble with that. And let's actually put back on his default fist hands so you guys can see. Like I said, putting on the left hand does seem easier. Taking off the right hand and putting on the spare hand, it's a little scary on mine. I don't think it's going to be that way for all Reverse Flashes, but be advised that it might be a little difficult switching the hands on and off. And lastly, for his accessories, we do get the tachyon generator that we see him putting on his chest. In the show, this was actually the device he used to help tap into the Speed Force, because he didn't have any connection to the Speed Force, so I'm really glad they included it. It is keyed, so if you're wondering if it does attach on, yes, it does. You just have to key it properly, which means this is going to be... If we're looking at the figure from a front-on perspective, this is the way you're going to want to have it, because his lightning bolt is technically the reverse of the Flash. So you look at the way it's keyed, and you just peg it on, and it stays on, no problem. I've already seen a few people say that it doesn't stay on, but yeah, like I said, if you key it on properly, I'm actually tapping the figure quite hard. Like, I'm flicking it and the tachyon generator is not coming off. So If you key it on properly, yeah, you're not going to have a problem with it, but if you try like putting it on any other way, yeah, it's not going to stick. So just pay attention to which way the lightning bolt goes, and it's going to be right here. And slip that on, tab it into place, and here we have him with the tachyon generator on, and that looks pretty cool. If I majored in special effects, I would be able to like show the tachyon generator powering up and giving him the speed force. But anyway, that's a really cool accessory. I do like that. But on to the main attraction, which is the reverse flash, and if I can get him to stand really fast. Really nice figure. I really do like this one much more than I did the Mattel version. I know it's really hard to compare Mattel with DC Collectibles, but they are aiming their 6-inch line to adult collectors, so let's actually move this reverse flash off to the side and bring in the Mattel reverse flash. And as you can see, besides him being more of a 7-inch scale figure, he's more of a 6-inch figure. There are quite a few differences on this guy between the two of them. Of course, the DC collectible one is going to have more detail, and that's pretty obvious, and there's a train going by, of course, during my review. I'm kind of wondering if he really does have this black patch, because you can see on the DC collectibles one he doesn't have it. And that's kind of strange. But you can even see on the legs that this reverse flash got it wrong. The lightning bolt doesn't come all the way down to the thigh. It just, you know, stops maybe a little after the hips. And paint-wise, he actually blows this one out of the water. The only thing I like about this one more are the glowing red eyes. This one has just the blue eyes. I know there is a version of this reverse flash that has the glowing red eyes, but he's an Amazon exclusive with the Season 1 DVD. I'm going to try to get it, but right now I'm just trying to find it for a really good price, and I don't know when I'll have it, but hopefully in the future I will. And while we're doing comparisons, let's actually move him off to the side so I can bring out the Flash. And so here we have the Flash posed next to the reverse flash, and I don't know if you can pick this up, but they do not share any parts. I know the Mattel version shared the forearms and then the legs, but these two do not share any part whatsoever. And even the boots, despite being the same style, Reverse Flash has bigger feet. Like even on the back you can see there's a huge difference on costumes, and I really do like that DC Collectibles went all out to show that there are differences in the suits. And in case you can't see it, that Reverse Flash does have a little more girth over the Flash, and that's the way it should be, because Flash is still like a young man, when Reverse Flash, he's, I'm going to guess middle age, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly the age gap between the two, but this is a much younger Flash than Reverse Flash, so the size in the body build does make sense. One thing I will point out is his arms do not go down any more than this. His arms are always going to be at this angle, and his elbows don't actually go straight. They're always at this slight angle. Now I found out that you can tuck his elbow in, but then that doesn't look right. So he's always going to have his elbow at this weird angle, like it can't sit straight and doesn't go in all the way. That's a little unfortunate, but you know, it's not going to make or break the figure. For some people it might, but for me it doesn't. Like I said, I really wish that he had the red eyes, and I kind of think that that's my one and only gripe about it, or that the eyes just don't work for this figure. Another gripe I do have is that the yellow isn't, like the shading on the yellow isn't carried over to the face of the cowl. It is carried over on the back, and you can see there's a, I don't know if that's a smudge of paint or just a spot where the plastic didn't get painted, but you can kind of see that the gradation stops right here and doesn't carry over to the face. That's a little unfortunate. Kind of wish that that was a little more consistent. We do have the lightning bolt with the texturing right here. Again, really nice detail. DC Collectibles, I think, knocked it out of the park with this figure. We do have this gradation from yellow all the way to black. And then his boots do have this little red piece on them. So overall, really, really nice figure. I do like Reverse Flash. So let's actually move on to his articulation. He does have a ball-jointed head, and if I can get the camera situated, which, there we go. He can look up slightly, down slightly, tilt his head left and right slightly, and then does a full 360. Be advised, just like the Flash, if these are separate pieces, and you can see this side is actually a little warped. If you press too hard, these might pop off or even break, so be advised when turning his head, try gripping him from like the forehead. Don't apply too much pressure on these little thunderbolts, because they're probably going to break if you do. His arms on a ball hinge go out to a full 360, and they angle outward because of the way he's sculpted, which is a little unfortunate, but it can be forgiven. Elbow bends about there. He spins at the elbow, spins and bends at the wrist. He has a ball-jointed torso, which you can see works really well, but just doesn't give him much forward or back movement. He does swivel at the waist, which is interesting because Flash didn't swivel at the waist. Legs go forward to about there. Back more than they go forward. They go out to about that far. Spin at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee, and there we go. You can see that there's one joint right there and another joint right there, so you can get him in a lot of good running poses if you can work his leg. I wouldn't advise moving his leg, forcing his leg past that, only because you might damage the plastic and scrape some of the paint off, and you don't want to have that yellow showing. He does swivel at the boot, have a hinge in the ankle, which actually goes back further than it goes forward, and he does have a rocker ankle, so you can get him in wide-legged stances, which is pretty good. I really do like that. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. So here we have Reverse Flash posed for my final thoughts. Overall, really impressed by this figure. I'm actually really glad I finally have him. If you were like me, you probably would have been waiting on this guy since December. December was supposed to be the release date of the Reverse Flash, however, for some reason, he kept getting pushed back further and further. The only reason I can think about why he'd be getting pushed back is quality control, because yellow plastics do tend to break a lot, and maybe they were just fine-tuning it so that he wouldn't be so fragile. He actually seems quite sturdy, so no complaints there. I actually picked this guy up at one of my local comic book stores, and he was $24.99, I believe. Came out to about $26 something with tax, which is what you're going to be paying for most DC collectible figures these days. Overall, just a really nice figure. Great addition to my collection, and he can be a really great addition to yours. If you can find him, definitely pick him up, especially if you're a Reverse Flash fan or a fan of the TV show. And this is King of Dragons 5000 saying thank you for watching my video. Hope you guys subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, tell me what you think of the Reverse Flash. Is he worth it? Do you think he's a welcomed addition? But anyway, go check out all my other action figure reviews. I try to have something up every week for you guys. So hopefully you guys like what I put out. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. My dream.